Stevie here and back with you, along with 3CW promoter Mike Groom. We're back once again for a little chinwag for the next 15 minutes or so about the returning 3-count wrestling. And the last time we did this, Mike, we've had a great response. Of course, that was over a month ago now, but a lot of interest for the return of 3CW. 3CW Encore will take place, of course, on Saturday, the 12th of November at the Borough Hall in Hartlepool. And of course, since then, we've also announced the return of one of the huge events from 3CW past. I'm talking about the Fight Before Christmas, which will take place in Thornaby. That'll be in December, on the 10th of December.
At the Thornaby Pavilion, which is, I don't know anybody's seen, the Thornaby has been regenerated hugely in recent years. The Pavilion's a wonderful facility. We're really looking forward to bringing the pavilion, 3-count wrestling to the Pavilion.
To bring the Pavilion to 3-count wrestling?
Bring the Pavilion to 3-count wrestling, exactly. It's something we've talked about doing for a lot of years, though, as you'll know, Stevie, and I think that as a venue, as an area, I think it's a great spot, and we're really looking forward to bringing 3-count wrestling back to Teesside. I know there's fans that had asked us and said, you know, how are you coming back to Billingham? Are you coming back to Stockton? And we have said that we're not going back to the Synthonia, but certainly we are coming to the Thornaby Pavilion on the 10th of December, and it will be Christmas chaos.
Well,
not, as the case may be.
We'll just have to see. I'm sure it will be an exciting event. And, of course, if you haven't checked it out already, the revitalised, rejuvenated, whatever word you want to use, it's new, it's brand new, it's got updates quite frequently. I'm talking about the 3CW website, of course. That's at 3cw.co.uk. If you haven't checked that out as of yet, please do so. We thank you for your support on social media, of course, for adding the 3CW page, and for sharing all the information, all about the upcoming events and all the news from 3-count wrestling, based in the northeast of England. And we're going to do something very special for everybody that listens for the full podcast here today. Not only are we going to announce a match, Mike, a match for 3CW Encore, of course.
Yes.
On Saturday, the 11th of November. The 12th of November.
The 12th of November.
The 12th of November, of course. If you want to get there early, be there on the 11th. But we'll announce a new match for that event, as well as you want to do something extra special. If you want to enlighten us,
we've got a discount code.
We've got a discount code, so that gets you cheaper tickets.
It does. It gets you. It's not just cheaper tickets. It gets you 10% off your basket at 3cw.co.uk/shop. I will say that if you try and buy tickets from one of our other suppliers or other vendors, they won't know about this code. So you do have to go to the 3-count wrestling website, 3cw.co.uk/shop. And it's not just tickets, any of the tickets or ticket packages, you can use it against those, but also the hashtag Ref Club apparel, the 3-count wrestling apparel, so you can get your t-shirt, be all kitted out and ready to go.
Okay, so we've got plenty of plugs in already, and we're just 3 minutes in right now, but I think this is an apt time to start talking about the events in question. Obviously, the performers that will be appearing on upcoming 3-count wrestling events, including, of course, the big announcement that was made a few weeks ago, the return of El Ligero. He's known all over the UK. He's the Mexican sensation. He will be returning to 3-count wrestling, of course, in December at the Fight Before Christmas. And I don't know, maybe we could talk a little bit about El Ligero right now. I mean, he's an established talent. When we first met him, Mike, going back, 12 years ago, was it? Something like
God,
that?
Yeah. He won't thank us for talking about that. No. In all seriousness, El Ligero, the gent himself, and of course, a lot of the fans will know that if El Ligero was available for every 3-count wrestling show, he would be on every 3-count wrestling show. He's the first person that we think of when it comes to shows, alongside the likes of course, Martin Kirby.
Who's wrestled 5,000 times.
Who's wrestled. I actually found out they're wrestling, as we record this, they either are about to or are wrestling Southside Wrestling, Kirby Mania. It's Martin Kirby's 100th match for Southside, which is a huge achievement, so big props to those guys.
But how many times has he wrestled El Ligero?
It's the 125th time he's wrestled El Ligero in any kind of match.
I know that, yes, very good. And El Ligero, if you've never seen him before, he's very exciting, obviously a high flyer, but great technician as well. And of course, former 3CW Triple Crown champion. Now, we don't know what the title situation is, Mike. I know you are speaking to the powers that be. I've been involved with the chairman of the board, so to speak, and whatnot. So far, no word about how this is going to affect the champions in the future in 3CW. There will be champions. We can't confirm that. El Ligeiro's got to be a favourite to be the next 3CW champion if indeed there's a tournament or if there's some sort of...
I would say El Ligeiro's got to be amongst the favourites, but you have to bear in mind that the situation isn't as we thought it might have been. We've got the technically, if you want to say current reigning or the last recognised three-count wrestling champion was, of course, simply the best Chris Whitten.
Right.
Chris Whitten is going to be there in November and in December as well.
Okay.
So we don't know how the title situation is going to pan out. We're hearing rumblings.
That's right. I mean, how is he going to be still recognised as the 3CW champion? I think we might have spoke about this last time. He was retired. He's come back. It's 3 years later. Now, we have spoken to other individuals that feel that Chris Whitten should be recognised as the 3CW champion. There seems to be a bit of a split here, because others would say, well, that's not entirely fair. He's never defended the title. It was an impromptu match against Martin Kirby. Maybe Martin Kirby should be recognised as the 3CW champion if we're indeed going to continue the lineage.
It's such a complex issue, and something that we are obviously as a company we will have to address in the coming weeks, and there's lots of negotiations. And then of course you've got guys who might say, from Chris Whitten's perspective, Chris Whitten, it's the last time he's actually wrestled, to my knowledge, was that show until November, of course, on the 12th.
It's absolutely true, yes.
But then you've got guys like, for example, Prince Mohammed Amin, who's gone on to have a successful career and was a championship holder as well.
He was the North East champion.
And that wasn't defended at the last show.
No, it wasn't, and he was a successful champion, and that's another issue I feel, needs to be addressed. Now, these upcoming events, there's a lot to look forward to, obviously, if you're interested in the backstory of 3CW. If you're interested in just seeing great wrestling action, well, we've already announced 2 great matches, I feel. First of all, backtracking a little bit, we've spoke a little bit about Martin Kirby there. He will go one-on-one with the party man himself, Liam Slater. That's going to be very exciting, and that's going to open the show. That's going to be the first match, so you've got to be there early. Remember, the doors are at 6:30. The action starts at 7 o'clock or thereabouts. We'll have to see how that goes down, but you've got to get there early is what my point is. I mean, they might already just come out. They might go out there before me, Mike, because I'm, of course, the master of ceremonies, and I know what a type of person that Martin Kirby is, and I know what a party animal that Liam Slater is.
I thought you really something else for a second there.
Well, what I'm saying is that these guys like to compete. This is going to decide, I feel, the future of 3CW if Liam Slater happens to defeat the former champion.
Look, this is exciting. We've got number one. This is the first 3CW match in 3.5 years.
Yeah,
itself is massive. Then you've got Martin Kirby is one of the best, whether you like him or you don't like him, and there's plenty of mixed opinions around the country in fans everywhere, depending on which town he's come up to, which promotion he's been working for. Whatever you think of Martin Kirby, he's one of the best in the UK right now. And then you've got Liam Slater, who is almost universally loved and popular. You might know him as Liam Lazarus. Calls himself the Lazarus Kid in some places now. Liam Slater, of course, a hugely popular fan favourite for the New Generation Wrestling promotion and in other promotions nationwide. And also, for me, one of the breakout stars this year in British wrestling. I think that when you see so many British wrestlers and wrestlers from the British scene being signed and going overseas for new big things, there's a new wave of talent coming through all the time. And I think one of the names that will be ubiquitous, more so than he already is in British wrestling in the years to come, will be Liam Slater.
Wow.
And I think that when you see, there's a lot of fans who become aware of his work through NGW and of course now WCPW, where you can see him teaming with the awesome vigilante Johnny Moss. Johnny Moss, he doesn't like me called, I don't think he likes me called vigilante anymore. But
he's not. He's calmed down a bit.
He's calmed down a bit. No, the awesome Johnny Moss, and that tag team is incredible. I think that people becoming aware of his work is fantastic, and I hope that there are people who will come just to see that match announcement and think, I have to be there to see that match. I have to be there to see that match. I would completely agree with them.
Yeah, you have to be on time to see this one, though. Remember,
we're telling you it's a unique thing. We don't normally do this, and we might regret doing it later, but we're saying that is the first match.
That is the plan. That will be the first match of the evening, of course, on Saturday, the 11th of November at the Hartlepool Borough Hall.
The 12th of November. You've got it wrong twice now. That's all right, Stevie. I'll keep you right.
What am I doing here? Be there early is what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying get there on the 11th. But the point is, yes, Saturday the 12th of November at the Hartlepool Hall, and feel free to share, of course, this audio file. Tell your friends, tell your family. We do have a Twitter presence as well. Of course,
we'll go through the social media. We're on Facebook, which is 3 Count Wrestling. We're on Twitter, which is 3 Count Wrestling, and the 3 is always the number 3, never the words. And we're on Instagram again, 3 Count Wrestling, the number 3, all one word. And we're on, where else are we, Stevie? I've completely lost the plot.
Are we on Instagram?
We're on Instagram. I've said Instagram. We're on Instagram. We're on Twitter.
MySpace.
We're on Facebook.
Is that thing still?
We probably are on MySpace somewhere, but it's probably
we were on MySpace
about 10 years ago.
Now, you mentioned Johnny Moss there. He had a tremendous match with Darkseid at the last ever 3CW show over 3 years ago now.
Excellent, yeah.
And he will be returning to 3CW. I'm talking about Darkseid, of course. And he was a former champion himself.
Absolutely, yeah.
So he's another contender. He'll be going one-on-one with the righteous Joseph Connors. Now, that match is going to be very interesting.
Darkseid versus Joseph Connors is such an interesting match, and that was not a slight on Johnny Moss, by the way. We of course hope to return to 3CW at some point in the near future. But as far as Darkseid and Joseph Connors, it's interesting because I believe I'm correct in saying the two gentlemen have never even met.
That's right.
They've never wrestled. I've confirmed that with both individuals. But
and there's so many similarities between the two. I feel. I mean, maybe Joseph Connors, a little has a dark side, so to speak. No pun intended, but it's absolutely true.
The pun is always intended with you. Yes, absolutely. The righteous army has been across run havoc in Southside amongst other promotions in the UK.
In NGW as well. It's
absolutely.
seen every single week on British Wrestling Weekly.
Absolutely.
Obviously a big name in What Culture Pro Wrestling at the moment. And, I think this is going to be... this could be the standout match of the night.
Absolutely. I think when you look at James Scott, Darkseid now likes to call himself the King in the North. He is a guy who is tremendously well known at a certain point in British wrestling. I do feel he perhaps doesn't get the recognition he deserves. A lot of that might have been due. He had some health concerns and that we know about. And
he went into MMA briefly as well.
He's got a good record in MMA as well.
He's got a good record,
yeah,
much better than Brock Lesnar's record. And CM Punk's, but that's a given.
That's a given. Yeah,
that's a given.
He actually knows how to do the.
I'm not going to insult him.
I'm not going to insult him because I don't know what.
Stop right there. Okay. So as promised, we're going to announce another match right now because time's marching on, Mike. So what's it going to be? What's going to happen at 3CW Encore on Saturday the 12th of November? Remember, get your tickets now. Let's have another match.
Okay, so this is interesting, it's exciting, it's something you will never have seen before, it's the first time. 3 Count Wrestling, we always like to pride ourselves on doing things a little bit differently. This is not a match that's ever happened before, I'm certain of that.
Okay.
We've got there's one thing we can tell you is that simply the best Chris Whitten is going to be in action, but he will not be in singles action.
Okay, right.
At least not in November. So what that means for the championship, we'll have to wait and see.
We'll have to wait and see. All will be revealed.
But this is hugely exciting, and this is massive. For the first time in how many years, you're going to see Chris Whitten and Kid Ritchie team up together.
Wow, they've been rivals, they've been partners, they've been best friends. They're going to team up once again. They were a successful tag team, of course.
Hugely successful and decorated tag team in 3 Count Wrestling and in other places as well.
Yeah.
So Whitten and Ritchie are back. They will be teaming against the team of H.T. Drake.
Wow.
And Alex Gracie. And if you haven't seen Alex Gracie, Alex is awesome.
So
they are the team... known elsewhere.
A prospect.
A prospect, absolutely.
Oh, okay. So there you go. Huge tag team action coming up at 3CW Encore. It takes place on Saturday, the 12th of November at the Hartlepool Borough Hall. But as I've kept saying, be there on the 11th because you've got to get in the queue early because it's going to be huge.
I can't go along with that. But
I'm not going to be there on the 11th.
If you're there on the 11th, we might be hiding around the corner to laugh at you. But come on the 12th. That's the
date, the 12th. Remember, it's the 12th, not the 11th. But be there early. That's the point, to see Martin Kirby versus Liam Slater, and who knows what else is going to happen on that date.
So
remember
you've got
the fight before Christmas as well.
On the 10th of December.
10th is return of El Ligero. More matches to be announced shortly, and I think we should give this code out for discount on tickets.
So let's run through those matches again. We've got Martin Kirby versus Liam Slater.
Yep.
Darkseid.
Yep.
Versus Joseph Connors.
Wow.
We've got Whitten and Ritchie versus prospecting. If you would like a discount on those tickets or anything else that you would like from the 3CW shop,
including the
apparel,
their apparel, yeah,
anything you
the
like.
Sweet Stevie T-shirt.
We want you to put everything in your basket. Put anything you want in your basket. Then when you get to the little voucher code, which is a promotional code, you enter the code Dirty Oil, which has got 3 R's in it, by the way. So it's DI, 3 R's. TY.
Dirty Oil with 3 R's.
Dirty Oil, absolutely. And you will get 10% off anything you like.
All right, well, on that bombshell, thank you for joining us once again. For Mike Groom, this is Sweet Stevie Aaron. We will see you at the return of 3CW.